Welcome. I'm glad to see all of you. This is the Wyrick Lunch East Branch, and we're glad to see all of you. You look very familiar. I'm moderating a panel here today at Lou's request and as co-sponsor for the Triumph of Supply Side Economics. We have three very distinguished gentlemen here who are both writers and scholars on the subject who will be making some remarks. I will, Lou, with your indulgence, just take 1 or 2 minutes and set the stage just a little bit. This is a remarkable time to be having an event like this. And Lou, you'd be congratulated for organizing this and bringing people together to have this discussion, both to commemorate Ronald Reagan, but in my view, to focus on the challenges that we are facing here today in the United States. This is a remarkable time that we're seeing right now. It is a time of great challenge, a time when a lot of old assumptions are being revisited. The old Keynesian ideas that all you have to do is just tax as much as possible and spend as much as possible and everything will be all right, are under some challenge. We've attempted that, and frankly, it has not worked. Just recently, everybody talks about how we can't find any money to cut the budget. Well, they didn't have any trouble finding $800 billion when they wanted to do a stimulus program and throw that money out of the door to no good purpose. Under the theory that, of course, by spending all that stimulus money under Keynesian economics, straightforwardly, that we would naturally see a roaring back of the economy and people would be employed and we would all march into the future happy as we could be. And as we speak today, unemployment is still somewhere between 9 and 10 officially and probably closer to 20% unofficially. The human cost of that is very dramatic. So this is a time when we can not only challenge the standard thinking of Keynesian economics, which may no longer apply in a modern American or world global society, and rethink whether or not supply side economics and Reaganomics and in fact have a proper place. I'm struck by the fact that people in this country, when they talk about supply side economics or Reaganomics, the first question they always ask is this going to be a good deal for the government? If we cut taxes, you say that we're going to make more money, well, is the government going to get more money? They never really think about the human opportunity of people to become entrepreneurs, to get exciting new innovations and new businesses and new ideas. But in any case, how are we doing? How are we doing under the old conventional thinking that perhaps a meeting like this can lead us in a different direction? I read last night that the gross domestic product, the federal portion, spending portion of that under Ronald Reagan was about 22%, and he held that in check. The statistic today seemed to show that we're now at 33% of the federal government spending of people's take-home pay and the production of the society. I took a look at some of the debt issues. The gross domestic product of the United States today is a little over $14 trillion. The total debt today is a little over about $13.5 trillion. By my mathematics, we're in the 90% range. Debt per person is $184,000. The ratio today, as I said, is in the 90s and 210. The official budget of the United States, if nothing changes, projects that in 2020, the ratio will be about 107%. 107% of debt to the gross domestic product. Greece went bankrupt at 113%. So there are serious challenges ahead of us. You can try to tax your way out of this, but there's probably not enough money in the upper levels. The policy of the United States seems to be to not have any upper levels of success or wealth creation in this country. When that's all gone, how do they think they're going to tax their way out of it? So the policies that we've been seeing right now are putting us on a very, very dangerous program. We at the Free Congress Foundation are proposing a joint program we call Freeze, Grow, Fix. We believe that you have to freeze the spending and govern within that freeze, and in fact, we take some of the spending down about $750 billion. Grow, we think you have to grow this economy in a genuine way, and we don't believe that any policies today in the United States are fostering growth. And we believe we have to have a growth economy. And we think we have to start by putting a ceiling of 25% taxation on small business income. And if you do that, you can begin to generate some of the excitement of entrepreneurship and the spirit of the American people, which is the only way out. And then finally, following Congressman Ryan's lead, we have to fix the entitlements. Now, I take issue with some of the portions of the congressman's roadmap. I don't believe we need a VAT tax. Grover's here in the room. I think he would concur with that. He's clapping back there somewhere. And but he isn't. Congressman Ryan is entitled to tremendous credit for making legitimate the issue of addressing the entitlements in a way that it has never been legitimate before. All of this comes down to the question of the greatness of America's future. And we can talk about that after we hear the suggestions and analysis and ideas of our wonderful panelists that Lou has brought together for this panel of supply-side economics. We'll begin in order with Steve Hinton,